that doesn't mean that it was there, you know?
But the love tank.
Yeah, the emotions was played.
Okay, that's what guys do.
Yes.
So do you believe that guys play with the language of love to get sex, and women play with the language of sex?
Yes, but women can play that too. Let's not be double standards.
So
yeah, women can play that too. Because of the, again, talking emotion versus logic. You can cut your emotions off. Like there was a time, again, my mama may watch this, sorry. But there was a time that, you know, I'm only 29, so. But there was a time that I was like, you know what, meaning with sex, but at the same time is don't cuddle, don't kiss. And we can high five after we're done. Because I didn't want to get emotionally invested into that.
But now I'm just an old school guy.
Right.
For me, that would mean that before you even had relations, you were already somewhat emotionally invested, weren't you?
I knew the guy for 16 years. I admire you. To be in love is, I'm obsessed with you. I want to know everything I can know about you. I want to spend all the time with you. But to choose to love, it goes towards separate, choose to cheat, choose not to cheat. You know, because I'm caring for you, I'm putting all my time into you. So I'm choosing to love you, to admire you, to make sure that you're the only one. And I choose not to cheat.
All right, Keisha.
Oh, good grief.
That's been a great conversation. Thank you so much for your insight.
All right, Coach Ellis.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes.
So if I'm in a long-term relationship and I'm not married, can I keep it hot?
Of course you can. Okay. If you're in a relationship that's used you and I, since we're sitting here,
Yes.
you can keep it hot by role playing. There's a lot of little things I come up with you wear or not wear. Like I know a lot of men like the little schoolgirl look, or wearing the trench coat with only a smile underneath and maybe a string of pearls.
All right, so let
heels.
me ask you the marriage question.
Okay.
We've been married for 20, 30 years.
Yes.
Is there anything off limits in the intimacy department while we're married?
Absolutely not. Because if you and I know our boundaries and we're comfortable with each other, and you respect my boundaries and I respect yours, if there's something we both want to try, we can have a safe word, say, well, no, that hurts, or you know, why don't we try something different, or I think you're behind.
Okay. Would you?
Been there, done that too. No.
Okay. So how do we keep it hot if we're not willing to experiment? Do we make our own films? Do we make our own recording? How do we keep it hot and keep it safe? Or how important is it to keep it hot? How important is it for you to trust me in order to keep it hot?
See, that's the big thing. If I trust you, then I would trust that whatever you and I do would stay between you and I. You wouldn't be sharing it with your friends. If we had a video or our own little sex tapes, it would be something that you and I could enjoy, not the general public or get leaked to someone else. The big thing, like you just said, is trust.
But
Theoretically, it has nothing to do with your marriage and mine inside our bedroom. That is personal between you and I.
so is it possible to be freaky deaky, or are there limits to the freak quotient we can have in our home?
No, we can be freaky deaky in the marriage. That's how we're supposed to keep it hot and interesting. And 20, 30 years down the line, you can still look at me and smile and say, oh my gosh, I still love this woman. I still want this woman. She still excites me every time I see her.
So when our children come to us 20 years down the road, they're having issues in their marriage, do we share with them some of the things that may have kept our relationship hot?
If they're coming to us, that means that they respect our opinions. They want us to be truthful with them. And of course, yes, you can share within the boundaries of what you think would help them in their relationship.
So I can tell them, Mom swings from the chandeliers. Woo.
Well, they may not want to know that. That might be a little bit too much for them to handle, but within their own, whatever they share with us as far as, okay, well, how would I get my wife or my husband to maybe explore this? How do you feel about, well, did you speak with your husband or your wife in terms of what would make you happy and how you would feel about it, and what can you do to explore those possibilities? So there are a lot of angles you can use.
So in our marriage, we can explore all 50 shades.
Can you handle 50 shades?
I don't know, but I want to try. So, so, and when we can tell folks, do you have?
Not married either,
So
but
how
I'm
do you
saying.
how do you keep out? You talking married folks? Married folks have boring.
Oh, okay. So we talking about single people. How to keep it
How do you
hot?
keep it hot?
With toys, with, you know, lingerie, things like that.
So-
But hold on. But if you want the benefits of keeping it hot, you got to make sure that you guys have that understanding. I'm not gonna keep it hot with a person who's with other people. Now, if we're being monogamous, if we're together, something like that, and I'm into you like that, yeah, we can keep it hot.
So as long as you think we're monogamous, we're good.
Oh, if I think, I have to know.
Well, I'll let you know.
Oh,
As far
no,
as
you won't
know.
let me know. I would know for myself.
All right, so look, I'm just curious because
Okay.
I'm looking at some of these answers and I'm like, you know,
Okay.
can you ever practice polyamory?
You know what? You want me to be honest?
I want to be brutally
Okay,
honest.
I'm gonna be honest. I have been to a swingers party before.
Yeah?
I have had a threesome before.
Okay.
Okay. Now, do I believe in people being married to more than one person? Let me say this. King David had more than one wife, did he not?
Yeah, and your son.
And everything was exciting and it wasn't any problems then. So
Young man, now you know, you're talking about all this
I'm a good
freaking-
church going young lady too, and I believe in the Lord. I love the Lord.
But
But
you-
everything he made was good. And I feel like you have to be confident in yourself. And if you're okay with it, if it's okay in your heart, then live like you. Jesus.
Oh, see. So you think it's possible to be freaking?
So you don't think it's possible? Oh, this.
I'm just asking you. You know, I ain't saying. I'm just saying. You know,
Okay,
so
okay.
it's possible, according to you, to be
Okay.
freaking get off the chain
Yes,
and still be a
And love the
good,
Lord.
moral, compassionate person.
yes, I am.
I'm confused.
But if you really want me to answer that question,
Oh, I'm trying to get with you. I got to make some judgments. I gotta have some things I'm trying to judge. But I'm trying to hook up with you.
right, but see, you don't reveal that to everyone. You see what I'm saying? You have to have guidelines, boundaries. There's rules to this, okay? You don't just come out and decide, oh, I'm gonna do this with this person, this with that person. No, you gotta, you know,
So how early do you tell the secret you don't want me knowing?
how early do I tell a secret? I want to know your secrets first. I'm a Virgo, so Virgos are we're kind of secretive, confidential. Because I have guy friends who are only
Wow,
guys.
see, here's what I think. You have
They're
friends-
waiting, trying to get some.
You have
They're waiting
friends
for me to
that-
feel low and down and scoop it up.
in case of emergency, break glass. That's exactly who they are because, you know, and because if they ever have any designs on you, they ain't your friends. They just waiting for you to have that weak moment. so
Okay,
they
I
just
gotta give it to
swing
you. Maybe. Well, thank you for having me on the show. You know what? We gotta agree to disagree.
Yeah, and you're telling me wrong. And I appreciate that.
All right, I'm wrong. Okay, to commercial. We're going to a commercial break. Thank you.
Yeah, that was the day. It was like, it was hard to do because as men, we never think we're gonna get hurt. We always think, okay, we the one inflicting the pain. We never think of like trying to tell us something. Who's making love to your old lady while
Yeah.
you out making love? So we never look at it like that. So when it do happen to you, now it's like, okay, now I gotta refocus. Like, I can't believe this happened to me. And it's like you want to be mad, but you don't want to. But you know, you're trying to keep your cool because men again, figure my way around it. So then you talk to your boy, man, I can't believe she done me like this.
I
She
can't
done
believe
this,
she did you like that
did
either,
that.
man.
Yeah, you know, and just back and forth. And then the natural thing to do, those times, ironically, well, okay, I'm gonna find me somebody else then. That's how I get over it.
Somebody else to go
Somebody else.
and abuse and
Right,
misuse.
so get
and-
to it, you know,
'cause-
and you just take that train and you just ride it again right on into another relationship.
See, because honest about it, what women don't understand is that after a hard breakup, we're on a mission.
Right.
We're on a vengeance mission, and it doesn't matter who is the object. We're on a vengeance mission.
We're looking for PEACE,
Right.
but when we go to this other person, it turns into PIECE, and we just flow with the flow.
Yep.
That's how it, you know, that's just how it goes. And it's like that gives us that peace, because that's not, you know, that wasn't what we was looking for, but that's the way it happens, so we just flow along with it.
So what do we do as men? Because you know the problem is that we get hurt. First of all, no one believes we get hurt. First of all, and then we don't want to admit we get
Right,
hurt.
we don't even believe it.
So who do we go talk to? Because I go talk to my boys, and I don't so much I want to tell my boys. You know, they are my boys, but you know I'm the man. I'm the man. So you know, there's only so much conversation we're gonna have.
By and large, about things like that. But men normally never have an environment that we can just openly talk about our hurts, our pains, our failures. We just hold it in. And it takes, I always say it takes a heck of a woman to really be able to pull that out of a man. or a heck of a good friend to be able to say, man, you need to talk about it. You need to let that go, or you need to open up about it. We just don't have it. And very seldom will we look for it first and foremost. We know we need it, but we won't even look for it.
Would you?
Well, I guess let me start off with when I have always dated, I just kind of went with the flow. But when I got to know myself and truly who I am, my purpose, my gifts, I was looking for, and I just kind of went with it.
That all sounds about somebody else. It sounds like you're talking about he's got to have, you know what you want. What's that to do with you?
Well, I know I'm confident in myself. I know what I deserve. I know my worth. I know what I'm going for. And I want whoever I'm dating to be my helpmate. You're helping me.
Hold on.
Wait.
You want a guy to be your creator, to be his helpmate, not the other way around. Come on now.
The good book says that if the man treats you like he treats himself and loves you like Christ loves the church, Christ helped the church.
Okay.
Christ was there to help the people, the needy, the ones, the less fortunate.
So you need.
No, I'm not needy.
You're less fortunate.
Compared to some people, I might be.
For your man, you're needy and less fortunate.
But I do have areas that I need him to help me with. I'm not perfect. I have flaws. So I need you to help become the better me. So
In relation to expose these flaws.
you know, I guess I just show up as myself. So as I do that, you're going to start seeing my flaws. But
I want to know crazy up front.
Okay.
You know, what day? Second day, third day, fourth? When do I get crazy?
Well, I don't think I'm crazy, number one.
Well, you
So,
got flaws. So every woman got crazy.
no, the difference between flaws and if you're crazy. Crazy is a jail. Flaws means that, you know, I might get a little temperamental. No, I'm not gonna cut you. I ain't gonna put my hands on you. But I will let you know when you disrespected me.
Oh, we're dating. I want you to put your hands on me. Come on, man.
What kind of put your hands on?
Man, it's crazy. Because, so, you know, when do I get the neck rolling and finger snapping and people's eyebrow?
Well, I don't communicate that way.
Okay.
I think communication is important. So I can tell you that my feelings are hurt. I can tell you that you disrespected me without doing all the non-verbals, rolling my eyes and stuff like that.
So, if you know yourself,
Yes.
will that mean you'll know what baggage you bring into a
Absolutely.
relationship? So, what baggage would you bring into a relationship?
I think one of my baggages is my issues with my father.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Yes.
Without getting into the issue with your father.
Yes.
If you notice your baggage, why bring it in? Why
Well,
not?
trigger for me. I'm like, oh, it might take you to a bad place. So if I'm upfront with you with my baggage, you will know what my triggers are and be able to help me through this. So my helpmates.
You know, as guys, we don't take hints well.
Uh-huh.
So you'll tell me all this stuff, but
Right.
I still will push your buttons just to see the crazy. I want to see how crazy it gets.
Right.
And then, as I do that, I'm going to try to figure out, is this worth the gift?
Absolutely. But it goes both ways.
Of course,
I'm going to push your buttons too.
Yeah, because I don't have buttons. I'm not perfect. So,
Oh, okay.
as a guy, as a head and as a lead,
Absolutely.
you know, you're following my lead.
Yes.
So I just need to find your crazy. You don't need to worry about my crazy because my crazy is going to cover you.
Oh, okay.
You don't think so?
Nobody's perfect.
Oh, no one's perfect, but shouldn't it?
We do, but two becomes one. So yes, I have things that I need to work on that I'm going to need you to help me with. So as you become one, we got to work through these issues.
No, I am so happy that we had this conversation because you're entitled to be wrong and you accept that. So I appreciate
and
it.
I, you know what? That's why we're not dating. So that's all right.
I'll say that. I don't think you'll always be in a position to say that you know everything about yourself. You should be changing.
So
I'll say no.
knowing what you know now,
Uh-huh.
knowing what you didn't know then,
Uh-huh.
would you make the same decision?
Shucks, no.
What?
Oh, no. And I'm happy in my marriage. But
It goes up and down and everybody's going to struggle sooner or later.
right.
So, do you think that you are a better person, or better equipped for relationships now, having been through that hell together, than if you guys had decided to do something different?
I could say yes. I mean, but it still doesn't make me take my time, not be so fast, not act like a know-it-all, knowing I don't. I mean, when we're young, we think we got everything we need already, but we don't.
So you try to the young folks, they don't know nothing.
They don't. They gotta live some.
So now I'm confused.
Mm-hmm.
So been married for 20 plus years. You probably wouldn't have done it the same way.
Right.
I'm not sure you would have married the same guy.
Oh, I would've.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. So you would've married-
Soulmate.
Okay, so
yes.
all right, so you would have married the same guy, just would have done it differently.
Yes.
What advice you give young folks like me?
Well, youngin,
Okay.
I would say, take your time, because if
Well,
you
I'm
get
50 years
into,
old, I ain't got time.
oh, we got time.
I don't know. I got
Listen.
about 15 good years. I
This
got
is
time.
something that I tell people, even people middle age and older. What would you choose if you had to go through hell just to be in a relationship, or wait 20 or 30 years?
This is for the love of your life. If you don't struggle together, can you really bond?
Listen, if you get someone that understands you, and it doesn't take hell to get to understand a person.
Oh, now I'm really
You see,
confused.
it
Now
doesn't.
I'm really confused. If you didn't know yourself, how can someone else know you?
That is the only thing that makes up lessons learned. You can learn from other people's mistakes.
Oh, so I let other folks have drama and trauma and
I'm
let
saying,
them
watch
just-
those who've gone before you. If I've gone before you and I share a bit of wisdom, take the wisdom and grow from that.
Yeah, but
Take the wisdom and
your
enjoy
wisdom
your
doesn't
life a
apply.
little bit better
Your
than
wisdom
mine.
doesn't apply to me because you made bad choices. I made good choices, so so
See what I mean? Young girls think they know. See, you're young.
So after all this time of marriage and all the hell you've been through, you would do it differently, but you would do it with the same person, but fully understanding that every relationship goes through their Armageddon periods.
They
Okay? So is it better to struggle early? Better to struggle late in this relationship?
That's a good question. I would
You're actually in.
Well, first of all, you have to decide and choose what role you want to be. Okay, what happens is people go into a relationship, first of all, they don't talk, they don't communicate, they don't tell what role they want to be. Perfect example, that's why a lot of women are out there now in situationships versus relationships, because they didn't say that they were on the role, on the path of becoming a wife. Okay, so they set themselves up, or like that side chick that's out there now catching main chick feelings.
Oh. So you're supposed to tell the guy that I'm on a marriage path in the beginning. Because you know he's going to cut you off. Hey, guy, we ain't trying to hear, I'm out for the conquest. I'm not out for the eternal security of marriage. So if you tell a guy that, you buy yourself a lot.
Not necessarily, no, I totally disagree with that. And the reason being is because communication is the key to any relationship. So you have to be clear of what it is, what your expectation is. Guys go in this, and we talked about this before, guys go into a relationship as a game.
You are really going to know what role you play, as opposed to what role I assign you.
I'm confident in knowing what role I'm going to play.
Okay?
Yeah.
So even though that you're confident what role you're going to play, is it possible the role you want to play isn't available and you don't even know it because I'm letting you believe you're playing that role?
It's very well possible, and that's why communication is the key. Most people, when they get in a relationship, they fall into lust before they fall into love. Okay? Yes.
That's because dating is a goal-oriented activity.
Exactly.
You know, women date to get married, guys date not to get married. And so as we're in our goal-oriented activity, we're okay with situationships. You know, I don't need a bunch of relationship stuff. I want situationship. I don't like the cookie jar situation.
Right. But the thing that we got to be clear, and I want the women to be clear, is you don't have to set yourself up for a situation. You got to consider yourself like the Hope Diamond. Everybody can't purchase a Hope Diamond. Okay, you can't devalue yourself. You can't carry yourself around like you on the wholesale rack and the clearance rack at Walmart.
Yes.
Okay, we protect our red bottom shoes, our Coach bags, and everything, but then we give everybody an all access pass to us. That makes
Preach, girl.
absolutely no sense.
But I'm good at this.
You got some of y'all that's good at
And
it.
so I can get all access.
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
and you're thinking we're on this relationship path.
True.
And for the next 10, 15 years, we're on this relationship path because I let you believe that. But at the end of the day, you find out you weren't the main.
Any relationship before you realize that this is the person that wants to be with you. I think what we do is, and I write about this in my book, we turn our BS detectors off. We want to BS ourselves into believing that this is going to be something that it's not going to be ever.
And I'm going to help you do that because since you don't know who you are, I'm going to help define you just for me.
You guys are slick with that too.
And good at it.
Good at it.
And good at it. So, Wow. So can we really depend upon someone else to set the conditions for our relationship success?
No. You have to set those standards for yourself. You have to not be afraid to be by yourself. You have to not be afraid to love yourself first. I think a lot of people are in relationships and stick in situationships because they're afraid of being alone. They're afraid of what people perceive them as being. Being single is good. People should not jump from one relationship to the other relationship. A relationship is like a death, okay, when it comes to an end. Okay, and in death, no one goes to a funeral and then goes to the club right after. You got to go through your mournings process. You got to go through your own healing. And I think that if we do that more often, we won't carry all of this extra baggage that we carry.
When you talk about knowing our us, has our us changed in 41 years?
Of course.
So how do I know our us if our us is changing?
We have to first know us, the wife and the husband. You have to know you, and you have to know how you're evolving. Life is an evolution. You don't stay the same. We all grow from time to time. It's like going to school. You don't stay in the first grade and not go to college. You have to evolve, and that happens in relationships. Things happen during the marriage, during the relationship that changes all of us. We grow through our pains, we grow through our joys, we go through seeing our children grow up, we grow through seeing the losses of our family members, our friends. So everything evolves, even from our jobs. You know, sometimes you start off with one job and it's not that stressful, so you can kind of ride through, and then you evolve and get another job. It's a little bit more stressful, so your spouse has to be there to be your backup.
So as you're discovering about you, in order to know our us, we got to know ourselves, we got to know our boo,
Yeah.
and then we got to know what we are together. Have you found that over time, the things that you said you would never ever put up with and never ever do, you ended up doing for the sake of the us?
Yes, that's called compromise. And in a relationship, you have to have compromise. My husband is a workaholic. I don't like it sometimes, but the first thing, and the one thing I tell young girls, before you start talking about all this love and all this other stuff, you have to talk about one thing, and that's respect. And I understand who he is and what he is, and part of that is he's a workaholic. He likes his job. He likes to be the caregiver. He's like the old-fashioned man who's been taught to take care of his family. So part of that, you have to respect that. If you don't respect that, then you shouldn't be in the relationship with that kind of man. You can't change people. There used to be a song out there talking about changing people. You have to accept people for who they are and what they are. You can't change people.
So what
He's too kind.
yeah,
He's really too kind.
it just drives you nuts.
It drives me nuts sometimes because sometimes I see other people taking advantage of him because people take your kindness for weaknesses. And that drives me crazy. And sometimes I have to pull him to the side and tell him, you know, enough is enough. I have to explain it to him, break it down. Sometimes we agree I'm right, sometimes we don't agree that I'm right.
So, if you respect him, is it safe to say that a man needs the respect of his woman and she needs to love him?
The man needs the respect of his woman and the woman needs the respect of her man.
I know that's
Love comes in. You can love anybody, and as you grow, that love evolves, but you can't have love if you don't have respect. I don't care how you cut it.
So it's love.
Of respect, because if you don't love yourself, you don't love your spouse, then you can't love them.
So there's this thing that
There's a lot of things.
because we watch TV now. There are a lot of reality shows about relationships. Hashtag Black Love, love at first sight, love, married by my parents, or whatever the case is. Why are there all these relationship shows going on right now? Folks are looking for love, and they're not doing it the way that maybe you did it that was more traditional.
Well, you named all these shows. Number one, I don't look at any of them because one thing you have to understand about all of them, their cameras running just like we're talking, and when the cameras stop, life starts. And it's one thing I tell people all the time. it's reality TV, but it isn't reality TV because part of it is scripted to make people think that this is how people live, and they don't all live that way. But people are searching for something, but you have to understand, most people aren't searching for the truth.
But thank you, really listen to women for the benefits we get from them feeling like
We
we're
who?
listening to them.
That's you, maybe you, but not me. I talk to the women because I want to hear what they have to say, because I can't get into them, and I don't want them if they don't stimulate my mind.
All right, so all this stimulating of minds and all that is great, you know. But the bottom line is, if dating is,
Because I want to get married, not just for sex.
you know, I'm confused because that does not sound like some man talk. That sounds like somebody's been brainwashed by a bunch of women.
Let me help you
to
out.
talk about.
Let me help you out. You said it's a man, well, I'm a gentleman. That's what's
Here's what I'm confused about. Because it breathes well. It breathes well. Women love to hear that. But if we're honest about it,
okay.
if we're really honest about it, aren't we simply trying to figure out what the right buttons to push to get them into a place where they will satisfy my wants and my needs?
Well, everybody has a certain level of wants and needs. Now, yes, if it would stimulate my mind and my body, so yes, I wouldn't mind having relations with them. But all that doesn't come into play if you don't take care of the other business first, because all that's going to go here or there. That only lasts for about 5 minutes, a few days, maybe a month or two. But we're talking about length of time. I'm looking for a long-term satisfaction.
So every girl you're interested in, every woman you're interested in, you're looking at marrying. You're on this marriage track.
Why bother dating if you're not going to go about it? See, maybe for some, and that's their goal, go right on ahead. But you got to also handle the game the right way. But for me, and for a lot of other men out there who are gentlemen, I'm looking to marry, and I'm going to go about it the correct way.
I'm trying not to be offended here, but I am a gentleman.
Okay? So your wild oats, that's fine too.
No, it ain't about so much. I want relationships. I want to be in relationship, having relations in relationship. I mean, I want to get married.
Okay?
Okay? But ultimately, if we're really talking about keeping it hot, we're really talking about what she brings to the table.
Well, I want to tell you also what helps bring to the table. A lot of women talk about how they can swing around a chandelier and things like that. But for a man, what they need to do is pay attention to all the other different things. Come home at the end of the day, rub their feet. Listen to what they need to do. If she likes a certain beverage every day, then go ahead and get it. All these things sometimes does take work.
Oh, that sounds like doormat conversation. No. That sounds like she is running. Where is your meat?
Have those discussions and understand what type of dinner do you offer to that lady. Do you offer an appetizer? Go right ahead. But for me, I'm offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you didn't get past the appetizer, I'm not having the rest of the meal with you.
Okay.
You know what? That breeds well. I am. And my granddad said I'm struggling. I'm struggling because that can't possibly be how real men think.
Actually,
that's what we're told to say so they will pay attention to.
but you know what? It does happen because those were type of things that was rooted for many a years. We strayed away from it. We got away from those people who put their hands on our shoulders and directed us. We got into this mentality of don't tell us what to do type of society. So now, divorces are higher. Relationships are in and out. So many children.
That's because the women are out of control.
Or is it only women or men? Or if not both?
All right. Hey, I appreciate the conversation.
Not a problem. I appreciate it.
I'm not married because at this point in my life I've chosen not to be married.
So tell me about this discovery of you.
Well, I was in a relationship for 8 years with a man who I thought I was going to marry, and he turned out not to be who I thought he was. And in discovering that he wasn't who I thought he was, I discovered that the real Jody wasn't living her life.
So just because a brother made a mistake, just because he had some issues, now all of a sudden he's not worthy?
I didn't say he wasn't worthy. In discovering, I wouldn't say that he had issues and that he made mistakes. He was a habitual cheater, and I didn't know that until some things were uncovered. Well, habitual cheater is different from being a mistake. A mistake is one. Habitual is not a mistake, but that's another conversation for another show. I realized that I wasn't who I was because after I found out initially that he was cheating and had been cheating, I stayed in the relationship.
Were there signs that you, hindsight's always 20/20, Were there signs in your rearview mirror that you looked at and said, I should probably know this?
Oh, absolutely. There are always signs. It's just whether or not we choose to stop and identify what are not our non-negotiables. There are always going to be signs. Every relationship that you have, there are always going to be signs, but you have to decide for yourself, what are your non-negotiables? What are you willing to put up with? What are you willing to tolerate? And what are you not willing to tolerate? And I will not tolerate a man who cheats.
So if a man slips up, is he a cheater?
What do you mean by slip up?
If he happens to accidentally have relations with somebody else, is he a cheater?
Well, in the context of Webster's dictionary, absolutely. But that doesn't make him an habitual cheater unless he slips up more than one time.
With the same person or with different people?
It doesn't matter.
So long as it's not you, he's cheating.
Absolutely.
So
Is that not how you view it in your relationships?
Well, since I would never have a man cheat on me. So
Okay, well,
No,
with
so-
a woman.
As I've grown older, I've redefined something. Because it's possible she could cheat and not be a cheater. And it depends on really depends on where my heart is in it. Because if I loved it in her, I might erase a whole lot of stuff that she's done just because love covers it. So is it possible that in the relationship where he was habitually cheating, that something in the relationship wasn't meeting a need or a want that he wanted?
That could have absolutely been the case. But in that situation, be a man and tell me about it. Have that conversation.
All right, so
Communicate with me.
How do I tell you that, you know what, I like relations with you, but it ain't all that?
Okay.
How do I have that conversation?
So what you say is, baby, I love you and I think you're great, but I think maybe in the sex department with me, you're not giving me exactly what I need. Any relationship with you, I'm gonna do my part.
So, first of all, a man's not gonna have this conversation
Well, then shame on him.
because he assumes, presumes, that if he ever tells you you're not satisfying him, you're gonna cut off all the supply, not just the part that he ain't satisfied. You're gonna cut everything off, and that's not a risk most men are willing to take.
But here's my thing. If we are committed to this relationship and we want it to go somewhere, you're going to be honest with me. And I'm going to be honest with you. And I'm going to tell you, you're not satisfying me in bed. These are the things that I like. I love you. I want to make it work with you. You're the man that I've chosen, that I've decided I want to be with for the rest of my life. These are the things that I need. Can we work together to make these things happen?
But when I pulled your hair and you slapped my hand, you should have known I like pulling the hair.
Well.
I don't have to explain that to you.
You're right. But let me say this to you. If there's something that you're doing to me sexually that is uncomfortable for me as a woman, I have a right to tell you that it is uncomfortable for me. This conversation about the things that you like that I'm not giving you and the things that I like that you're not giving me. Because I want to be satisfied just as you want to be satisfied.
You satisfied.
And for the truth, 5 minutes doesn't cut it.
House, you and whoever your significant other may be, what makes you wrong?
So, you plus me equals an us.
Yes.
So what if we're ill-matched?
If we are ill-matched, I still think that there can be an us. I think that you have to be comfortable within yourself and know yourself enough that even if there is an ill-matched, you're still okay with it. You're still okay with building this union with this person. Because I do feel that, because I got married when I was 21, I am now 42. My husband and I, when we met, we were all about each other, but I think that over the time, we have become ill-matched.
So, our us changes over the years?
I do think so.
So what happens when you outgrow your boo and the us no longer fits?
I don't necessarily think that you outgrow your boo to an extent, because I think that, for one, when you're with somebody that long, I don't think you can actually continue to sleep with a person and never feel anything for them. So you do have a connection with that person, but I don't think that you really ever outgrow to an extent. You grow, but I don't think you really necessarily outgrow them when you have been in the marriage.
Realize that a guy, I can sleep with you and not be emotionally tied to you.
Yes. I honestly believe that you can, but for me, if you sleeping with me,
I'm gonna make you believe I'm all about you. Because I don't want the benefits to stop.
but I know me enough to know that no matter wherever you, no matter where you lay your head, you're gonna always
Come
think
back
about
home.
me. Always.
I can think about you while I'm doing other stuff. I can think about you, you know. I wonder what she's doing. Never mind, baby. Those things happen.
I mean, yes, those things do happen, but I am still secure enough in me to know that, first of all, I don't really necessarily need you. I don't need you, and I think that
Hold up.
for myself. So I am not with him for what he can provide for me. I am with him for the love.
And you need that love.
I do need that
So you
love.
need me.
I need, no, because I still love me. I still love myself enough to walk away.
Can you love yourself enough to be without me?
Yes.
Then that means you don't love me.
No, that means I love you, but I love me more.
Well, isn't that the antithesis of a relationship? Because aren't we in a relationship for me to love you more, to prefer you over me, to want for you more than I want for myself?
Absolutely.
I think that you can want more for a person. You can want for a person. You can want for yourself, but I also believe that you can love from afar. I believe that you can still love a person from afar and still want good for them. So,
Wanting I'm just a guy, I don't know a whole lot, but wanting good for me from afar and loving me is two different things.
yes, it is, but I still feel that I don't necessarily have to want to be with you to want good for you.
No, but I don't care what good for you. You're supposed to love me. I mean, you can't stand being without me. No matter what I do, you love me. Therefore, you want me with you. You got to love me more than you love yourself.
No. I'm going to love me first.
Selfish.
That's not selfish.
Love is not selfish.
That is not selfish. That's because I have, in order for me, if I can't love me, how am I going to love you? I need to love me enough to know what my standards are. And my standards are what I have been raised on, what I have been built on. So I have to love me first. Because if I don't love me first, then I'm going to just allow you to do whatever you feel like you want to do to me. And that is not going to happen. Because mama didn't raise no family.
Great. Well, thank you so much. The guy, the team manager, right? So he has his star player,
Okay.
okay, and she is the star player. He's got his skill players. They're important to him,
Okay.
okay, but they're not the star player. And he's got a bunch of folks that are bench warmers. Those are folks that he can call at any time. They just happen to be in the game.
Okay.
So, what role should you play in a guy's life?
Well, of course, I'm the star player. That's like wifey.
No, star player is the wife. Wifey is a bench woman because she's giving up wife privileges without the wifely commitment.
Right, and that's your star player. The wifey, right?
The wife and wifey two different things, aren't they? Wifey, somebody I ain't married, but she's giving me all the wifely benefits.
Okay.
She's cooking, she's doing my laundry, she's shopping for me, she's hooking the brother up. And what does she get in return? She gets to spend my money, do some other stuff.
Right.
But she didn't get the benefits of the diamond.
So your question to me is what?
What role? Hey, do you think that if you've dated more than 3 guys, you've been each one of these roles at some juncture in your life?
Of course. I mean, you're the star. Well, first you start off as, I guess, you say a bench warmer. I guess. That's what I'm going to say. Because you don't know who he's talking to at first. You don't know if he's talking to another chick on the side. You don't know if he's married or whatever. You don't know that offhand. You're just going off what he says. Then as you engage in the relationship, you get to know him, and then you become, I guess, the star player. Knowing, his assets, knowing that, okay, he doesn't have a wife, he doesn't have a side chick, he doesn't have this.
Can you ever truly know he ain't got a side chick?
I think, of course. You fall in love, you get to know a person over years at a time. You guys are
in a relationship, y'all get to love each other, y'all going on vacations, taking trips and doing this and doing that, you know the ins and outs of your man. So of course you're gonna know if he has a side chick or not, if you're paying attention to your man.
So, but yet you tell me you've been a side chick without knowing it.
Of course.
So how if you know your man,
Right.
how can you be a side chick and not know it?
I'm saying, like, when you start out in a relationship, person, and we was together for about 6 months. Okay, you know how females do. We go through the phone and we looking on who that calling. Keisha, it is 12 o'clock at night. So you suspect, okay, he messing around. You go through the phone, you see the text messages.
Hold on. You go through the
Oh
phone?
yeah. And y'all men do it too. Stop it, cause y'all looking over, y'all peeking. Oh, Tim calling. It's 12:30. He done called 3 times today.
We're smart enough to put some type of program on your phone so it sends me an email about what you have.
That's too
but
much.
you going through my stuff.
That's
the
too
wrong
much.
answer.
That's too much.
And if I got to go through your stuff, you a bench warmer. I don't care what you are.
Right.
And if you're going through my phone, you a bench warmer.
I can't go with that. I can't go with that. You could be married for 5 years and y'all fall off, but y'all still married. Y'all going through your difficulties. All of a sudden, she notices your phone still ringing at 1 o'clock in the morning. Why is your phone ringing? But you're married now.
But just because I'm married don't mean she my star player.
Oh, stop it.
Some guys marry their skill player because guys don't get married because we love you.
Okay, so what's the reason?
Oh, we get married to so no one else gets access to the cookie jar.
Oh,
Right.
I don't believe that's true. I don't believe that's true. Some men maybe, yes. But majority of the men that's gonna get down and take time to pick out that ring and get down on one knee and ask, baby, will you marry me? And y'all done had 5 kids already? Oh yeah, he loves you.
No, he's just taking you out to market. There's a beer called Private Stock, and that's exactly what he's trying to say.
Really? You think so? I don't think so.
Okay, thanks for
All right,
this porn thing. So, what is your response as a woman to a guy who's addicted to pornography and involved in
First of all, I don't believe in pornography. I don't agree with that. I don't watch it. And so the person who I'm involved with, he is watching porn, we can't be together.
Well, I want you to join me. It shows all kinds of stuff we can do together.
That's why we have each other. We experiment together. We figure things out.
How am I going to learn if I don't have any models?
I grew up in the church, and that's just not something that I was ever discussed that I would be comfortable with. So I don't agree with porn.
But we can take our own pictures. We can take our own film just with us.
Not at all. We can talk about things that we want to do together. We can experiment. That's the whole point of growing in a relationship, is figuring out what we like based on us trying things out together.
So we're not going to get into porn. How are we going to keep it hot?
We can keep it hot by experimenting.
We've been together 30 years. Ain't that much experimenting left.
That's a long time. Yeah, I mean, but still, there may be fantasies, that have never been acted upon. And so again, because of the communication, you find out, well, this is something I would like to try. But in terms of pornography itself, no.
You'd be okay if I say we're gonna go over to we're gonna go to Spades, and you're going to go sit down in Spades somewhere, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to try to pick you up.
Okay, role play. Okay.
You can do it with it.
Okay. Yeah, I can do it.
And we can film it.
The
encounters.
Okay.
Okay. And I have the camera following like a little GoPro thing coming on, and as we're doing all this, and we get back to wherever I'm taking you, and I can leave the GoPro on, and we can kind of go out and do our.
You, I, or we have. It's not pornography.
Okay. So what about polyamory? I have like 2, 3, 4 women at the same time. You're already in love with me, so you can't leave me.
Really? I'm not that one. It's you and I. That's it. You experiment with other women, 3 or 4, no. But I would like to think that I would know this before we even got together, so that I don't waste my time, because I don't want my man being shared with several other women.
So we've been in a relationship for 10, 15, 20 years
Okay.
already.
But do I know this? Do I know that this has been going on, that this is something that you like?
It hasn't been going on. I just now want to do it. We've been at the thing 20 years.
The answer is no.
So you want to deny me, your man, your love of your life, your soul. You're going to deny
That's why you have
your pleasure?
me.
But if you can't satisfy everything that I need, why can't
Well,
I?
if that's the case, then you need to move on and let me be.
Hello. I know that's
You
right.
satisfy most of what I want. Just not everything.
That's
You
not
gonna
going to
deprive
be the problem. This is what it is. I believe in just you and me. And if it can't be that way, then you can bounce.
So after all the time we've invested
I
into
don't
each
care.
other,
Did you hear what I said?
So now that I'm bored with you,
If you're bored, then you know what? There is freedom of choice. You can choose to leave.
I don't want to leave. I love you.
Well, if you love me, then you'll stay and we will figure out things together. But 2, 3, 4 women, no. I'm not her. Pornography, no. And I'm not a plain date at all.
Girl.
And when I started dating, it was fun.
to experiment with love and relationships. Do you find that being in a relationship, did it make you whole? I hear a lot of what I'm talking about. It makes me whole. What do you
No,
say?
it didn't make me whole because I had a lot of trust issues because of what my dad did to my mom. So again, it didn't make me whole because I didn't even know who I was. So once I I started dating. I had my first boyfriend when I was 18 years old. And again, I dated him for 6 months and he cheated on me. And
Hold on. Y'all ain't married. How can he cheat on you?
I said, oh, what?
You're 18 years old.
Hold up, wait a minute.
That's right.
Let me explain something to you. Well, I can't explain it to you. I'm just going to tell you from my perspective, from the Paula B perspective. When you ask me to be your girl, you're asking me for myself. So I'm saying yes to you because you're telling me that you want to be my boyfriend and you're asking me to be your girlfriend. You didn't say I want you to be my girlfriend, but I got Shirley up in the wings that I want her to be my girlfriend
Did you
too.
even have the conversation? Because as guys, if we don't have the conversation, it don't count. So if you assume you're the only one for me,
Y'all like cracking me.
okay with that.
You are cracking me up. They have so many rules. They don't even tell. Okay, I'm gonna tell you. This is how I am. Let me know what type of sandbox you want to play in. If you want to
I
play,
just want to play in your sandbox.
No. I just want you to let me know if. Don't make the choice for me. This is where I've always had my problem. I don't like it when men make choices for women. You don't have the right to make that choice for me. Now, if you want to play in this sandbox and you want to have a lot of other people in your sandbox, and if I say that's cool, I'm good with it because I'm definitely going to have some people in my sandbox. We can roll like that. Because you have to decide what type of pimp game you want. You understand what I
So
mean?
here's the game. Here's what it is.
Okay.
All right. Because you're relational,
Yeah.
I have a responsibility to make you feel like you're the only one. Whether you are or not, when you're with me, you need to feel like you are the one. Right?
Right.
But there is no situation, circumstance, or condition ever where you can be with anybody else other than me while you're with me.
Whose rule is that?
Oh, that's the man rule.
Where's the
That's
book?
man rule.
Yeah.
It's called the rules.
But that, let me say this. I had a friend that said to me, it's so, as long as he's doing what he's doing, but I can never, ever be with a woman that cheats on me. Now you're doing everything that you want to do. You're laying down with this girl, but oh my goodness gracious, if a woman cheats on her man, that's the worst thing in the world.
Absolutely.
She's a slut, she's a
But you know
hoe,
why?
she's this.
You know why?
Well, what was told to me was that the guy goes in
Absolutely.
and the woman just puts out. So they don't want anybody going into their woman.
So-
Well, I don't want anybody going into my man. And
But she ain't going into me.
well, she is because I don't know what you guys are doing.
Well,
She ought to be doing a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, let me break it.
She ain't going into me.
But let me just break it down to you. It's hard for a woman to know that her man has been with somebody else, and then when he goes to lay down with her, in her mind she's thinking, what has he done with this woman, or what has this woman done to my man?
Has she gone down? Am I being too raw? Has she gone down on him? You see what I'm saying? And I'm going down on him. Has he? You understand what I'm saying?
That ain't your business.
No, that is my business. That is my
Because
business.
it's an external, for guys it's an external expression, for a woman it's an internal expression. But that's
No, that's oh
conversation for
yeah,
another
yeah,
time.
that's another
Thank
time.
you for having
Yeah.
the conversation.
Sorry.